and from her Zoom account cloud, and then I'll
my feet set down, back on solid ground. I'm dreaming, met a friend I never seen, walked in places I'd always been, but they didn't look the same. In the forest, the trees are slowly walking. Unknown destination. Follow them wherever they are bound.
Each day, a new beginning, a new way, a birth. And we welcome you all here today to enjoy the ideas of truth, free spirit, and peace. When you're ready, you can open your eyes, stretch, feel at ease. Thank you, Jim. That was very beautiful. I'd like to welcome Reverend Missy in the flesh today. She actually does have the
Okay, I didn't miss much.
First thing Kim says is, "My God, you have legs." So our themes are free spirit, peace, and truth. When I was younger, my mom said that I marched to the beat of a different drummer. Now, I really didn't know what that meant, because to me, I just did Missy, or at least a little bit. I was great at mud pies. I love mud pies, sit in the dirt, and we lived on a farm, and I liked to put them in these metal tins that you got, those chicken pot pies, the small ones, and climb trees. And so I really didn't think I was different until later on, when it always seemed like other people thought differently than I did. And then when I took statistics, I remember that they showed us this bell curve and how you had the majority of people were within this bell curve. It meant they all sort of were alike, or they tried to be, it's that fitting in, right? We try to fit in because we want to be liked, we don't want to stand out, or whatever our personal reasons are. And then I realized that I was an outlier. And then I had people calling me weird. And I decided one day that it was okay. I made it a badge of honor to be weird, that it was okay to be different, that what would it be like if your garden had just one color of flower in it, or one type of flower? Wouldn't that be boring? And so I started looking at other people and thinking, oh, isn't this wonderful, the diversity we have? And how exciting and how wonderful that makes life. And when I came to that conclusion, I realized that marching to the beat of a different drummer meant that I could be Missy. I couldn't be, I could only be a second-rate LJ. LJ does LJ perfectly. Bob does Bob perfectly. And I do Missy perfectly. You see, each of us does ourselves perfectly. And the whole purpose of coming here is to be authentic, to radiate who we are in truth. You see, is to be our true self, because that's what makes it fun. And we don't have to do anything. We can just be kind. That's our mission. Just be who we are and to be kind. And when I realized that I could just be, I set my spirit free. Being a free spirit is to set your spirit free. And when I realized that I all of a sudden started having a sense of peace with myself, with everybody else. I know who I am in truth, you see. I know what I am in truth. So who I am in truth, God made us all. We are all aspects. We are the absolute in singular form. Each of us. Each of us is the absolute in singular form. And knowing that I am who I am. Who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. And how do we serve them? Just by radiating that divine spark inside, allowing it to go out in whatever way. Kindness, community, holding a door open for someone, smiling at someone, the act of kindness. So you can set yourself free, have that peace inside, and know that that's your truth. Because you know why? And you know what? That is the truth.
We're all untethered souls here. Thank you. Okay, can you hear me okay? All right, great. I think we're going to have another special musical treat now. It's Jim Savarino. Let's give him some.
Thank you. I'm going to play an older song that I wrote. You know I'm a songwriter. What do we know? There's a mountain in northern West Virginia. All my friends are waiting there. Run through the hills with shouts and laughter. Live our life without fear. And if we hold to our dreams, wherever they may lead us, We'll keep our youth just like we found the fountain. The wisdom that we need to grow. Many miles, many years between us. I can't forget, I'm just that way. Often said, home is where your heart is. If that's so, I'm home to stay. If we hold to the truth, so the world can believe us. Hold tight, never let it go. We'll keep our youth just like we found the fountain. Wisdom that we need to grow. No one likes to think about their ending. Hope somehow we'll stay the same. Age piles its weight upon our shoulders. We don't know just who to blame. If we hold to our light, so all our friends can see us. Hold tight, never let it go. We'll keep our youth just like we found the fountain. The wisdom that we need to grow. If we hold to our dreams, wherever they may lead us, hold tight, never let them go. We'll keep our youth just like we found the fountain. The wisdom that we need to grow.
And some soul food for us. That was wonderful. Thank you. And now we have a special treat. We have a special guest speaker today, Reverend John Karn. Okay, I almost said Kern because I was at a Kern family farm last night. That's how they spell there. And John, Reverend John, is the Dean of Emerson Theological Institute and also an instructor there. And you hail from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not telling you, but I'm just telling everybody else. I'm looking for you to go like, right? And he's here to also visit the PLC. And if you want to add anything else, when you get up here, you go ahead because I'm just so happy that you're here, and we want to give you a warm welcome. So come on up.
No, it's fine. I'm actually going to need my notes for this because I didn't have as much time as I would have liked to prepare. So happy Mother's Day. Yeah, I was waiting to see if someone was going to say it before I did. So how many mothers do we have in the room? Wonderful. So all of you, we owe all of you a debt of gratitude because in raising your children, you are shaping the world, shaping the future of how these kids will run the world as they get up to that age. And I think the mothering energy is all about nurturing. And so there would be men with this mothering energy as well, this nurturing energy. And then of course, women. It's not a and B situation that's coming through. I've been in Oakhurst now. It's my first time here. I think it's really beautiful. I've been here a week, with the Emerson team, a lot of your leadership from the center, as we went through an audit for our accreditation. Emerson's been an accredited school for the past 30 years. And how is the sound?
It's a little low.
Okay, alrighty. Okay. How is this now? Alrighty, is it still good? All right. So it's my first time here, and it was quite an adventure getting here and preparing to be here. But our people, your leadership has done a remarkable job for PLC and for the Emerson Institute. I wanted to point them out. Dr. Laurie B. Ballard. Gracious.
And the humbly indeed.
Yeah, she's the person that would go out at 10 at night to find a form, dig it out of a folder somewhere, scan it into her email and send it to me. And doing that without a complaint, just being gracious the entire time. Dr. Bob is nothing short of amazing. He has a wonderful heart and a wonderful energy, and he's also got this amazing mind. So we had him on standby for any question that was over our heads. And he also knew all the corporate stuff because he goes all the way back. He did all that corporate work. So we wanted him there with us. Dr. Sandy is a breath of fresh air. She's usually the one telling the jokes. And she also tunes in right away any edginess. It's this very reassuring talk to you or prayer for you. And that makes all the difference. I was telling her she had prayed, left me a phone message praying to me. And I didn't hear it. I couldn't quite hear it at my belief, but I listened to the reassuring sound of your voice. It did not matter what the words were. I just melted into this. Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Sandy. Dear Missy is also with us. Dr. Missy, I should say, right?
Dear Missy's fine.
And Missy and I probably work together almost every day of the week. We have stuff going on constantly. I tell her whenever she's off, just please don't look at the email. Give it, when you come back, it's still going to be there. But generally her way of doing work is to knock that out of the way and get rid of that. So she's responding all the time. But she is there. She has a great intellect and an even bigger heart. And so I'm grateful to be able to work with you. So this week and leading up to it, we had lots of stress, lots of moments, but now that we've done it and we've come through it perfectly, I have saved every little thing we did to a drive, and we'll have it in future. We'll be able to just look back at how did we do that back in 2024. One more thing to get out of the way. You might not have realized this, but I'm from the South. All right, and I know you had no idea. So when you give talks in Atlanta, I'll talk back to you. I don't know if you lived in a place where if you go to the movies, the people in the theater are screaming at the people on the screen, saying, don't go there, not the stairs. Not the stairs, killers in the stairs. Killers always in the stairs. So it's sort of like that all the time. And in church, I have had people on the back row stand up and scream at me, trying to get my attention. And I've had people in the first or second row jump up in the middle of the sermon and start praying for me, doing one of these. And it's never someone's upset with you. They are just inspired to share the love with you in that moment. So that gives me a great deal of confidence if I'm getting positive strokes from them doing that. I'm encouraging you to feel free. If you want to jump up and scream, that's all good. Everyone here's just gonna love you. for
I'm
it.
tempted.
Hmm?
I'm tempted.
That's where you. Alrighty, so talk is how to change other people. And it's from an essay or a talk Raymond Charles Barker gave years ago. And I don't know how well you know your New Thought lineage, but we come, which is your guys and where I come from, we come from the Raymond Charles Barker lineage. And so he was one of these, I want to say he's a gay man. He's got that evil queen sense of humor where they could just slash you in half and at the same time give you something wickedly funny to laugh at. So I thought that title was sassy and I liked it. And I didn't really use much of his talk under that because it was a lot of Bible stuff from the King James Version. And I'm not even into the King James Version. I'm looking at Lamsa or the Standard Revised Version that Unity people use. But I took that title, How to Change Other People, and I just rested with it for a while, and I'll share with you what came to me. But first off, who are these other people we need to change? Who are they? What is the characteristics they have that we just see as a problem? That's got to go. I can't hang out with them or even listen to them in a meeting. They're really bothering me, right? Is it the way they vote? Maybe that's the person, the one that doesn't vote the way I do. Is it the person, I have someone in my family, and notice none of them are here, so I can say it. One of my relatives has been married at least 10 times. They won't tell me the total. No one will tell me. But her way of thinking is, if I just can get married again, all these problems will go away. And so it hasn't worked 10 times. And it's still a thought, well, I'm going for another one. So someone like that, until they're willing to think, this is like somebody with a drug abuse person. Until they really want to change, you can't change them. And I have to give myself the break. You have to give yourself the break that we're not going to be able to change this person, at least not today. They are not on that page just yet. And I have a history of drug abuse way back. And I know firsthand that you have to want to stop. So when you meet people that aren't ready to stop, for me, I can't work with them. And it may be that's too close to me, but I just don't want to burn up all that energy on something that's not going to work. Now, these people that we think need to be changed, where did it go? People that we think need to be changed are often people that cause us to have to do a denial step and a reaffirmation during our treatment work. Now, y'all all know the current way of doing treatment is 5 steps, but a lot of us came from the 7-step method. And the longer I've been a minister and a practitioner before that, I can do 5 steps all day if it's for me or for an experienced religious science person. But if it's for someone else that says, yeah, but have you seen this? Every time you try to get through it, we have to do a 7-step for them. And then if somebody's really pushing our buttons, that person that needs to be changed, sometimes we regress and we have to go back to the old 7-step because they have really stressed us out. I've got to deny that person is a nuisance, and I've got to affirm that the presence of God, the power of God, is within them and is looking at me here and now. And so that's what that means. My teacher used to say that people would change when the pain of their life was so bad that they felt there was no option. And for all of us, that's at a different point in time. For me, it was shortly after I finished the drug abuse. I was in a counselor's office, and she handed me this Louise Hay book called You Can Heal Your Life. And I read it, left out of there and read it, and thought, this is truth. I'm reading truth. You know it when you see it. And I wanted to know where she got it, where she got the information, what she had studied, and how that all came to be. Because I didn't want to just say, well, that's a nice book and put it away. I decided I want to live my life that way. And so I did the research, and I found out she went to a school in New York with Raymond Charles Barker and one other teacher. The students from that school came down to Atlanta. They're mostly East Coast people, and they sent Louise Hay out to California. And so when I read that, that put me, I found out how to go to school to do that. At the time I had moved away, 2-hour drive to Atlanta. And so I had to start driving back. And then by the time I finished Practitioner, I was able to do a treatment for myself to return to Atlanta and to set my life up in accordance with the things I had learned and have a much better experience. And so that's what I did. Now, first, I ask, what is working well in your life with your spiritual practice? And when I teach classes, I ask that, and I make each person tell me an answer. And I do it every single week. So by week 3 or 4, they're getting it. They're going to have a spiritual practice, and they're going to have to tell me about it. For those of us that don't have a spiritual practice, you're the person struggling the most. You're the person walking down the street and banging your head against the wall the whole way. I so don't want that to happen to me anymore. I'm very intentional. And I set up my day every day with prayer, affirmation, treatment, practice of gratitude. I repeat it however often I need to repeat it. It's usually at 5 o'clock-ish, and then there's a bedtime one. But for me, that's what it takes to stay in the intention that I want to set, that other people aren't going to control my life. If you don't set your intention for the day, you're living by what we call the law of averages. That means everyone out there, I'm going to say out there because I want to put that at you, out there is setting up our day for us. We're walking into their energy. We're participating in their manifestations. And so we're not having what we would want. We're having, not even they want it, they don't know what they're doing, but we're having their experience. There comes a point in time when you say, enough with that. So if you're obsessing over someone else, it's time to do some self-inventory about your practice. I searched the great texts to see what they had to say about our title, How to Change Other People. In A Course in Miracles, I did a search, and they say that your brother is the mirror in which you see yourself. So one more time, your brother is the image through which you see yourself. All right, so you're looking out at your manifestation. You're drawn together because the law of attraction, like energy attracts like energy. So that gives you the opportunity to look around and decide, are there things here I want to change, or am I good with this? Ernest Holmes said, under the definition of metaphysics, that metaphysics is the science of handling our own thoughts. Isn't that interesting? Metaphysics is the science of handling our own thoughts. Notice it didn't say anything about changing someone else's thoughts. If you want peace, you'll learn how to shift your thoughts, and you'll stop obsessing over things that happened in the past. or things that you have no control of right here and right now. You have control, actually, if you have a spiritual practice. And so we think these thoughts of wrongness, blame, and shame, we need to be aware that these issues are what we don't like about ourselves. So we're looking at someone else, got to change them because they're getting on our last nerve. We can barely be in their company for for 15 minutes, maybe. There are people who I don't answer the phone. It's that much of a challenge. I'll text them later. So how is it they're supposed to change if I start to recognize that they're in my life because of the law of attraction? That means I have something to do with that. They're mirroring back to me. That's a phrase Ernest Holmes uses as well, the mirror image in the metaphysical charts. They're mirroring back to me, myself. So how is it I can expect them to change when the only thing that really needs changed, the only thing I can have changed, is what I have within me? Right? And the world will take care of them. They might get it this lifetime. They might not. It's not mine to worry about. What is mine to worry about is I want to get it this lifetime for myself, because I don't want to go through this lifetime again. I want the next lifetime to be better, nicer, a little more cushy. How about good parents this time, right? Wouldn't that make a difference? So the main characteristics of our teaching is that our work is one of individual information, not individual reformation. Jesus didn't reform anyone. He spoke the truth, and the individuals that took in that information and decided to live by it were transformed by the renewal of their mind. There's not one word or in the Bible or the Science of Mind text, which actually is my Bible, that says you have to put up with difficult people. The people in your life are there for a reason. And of course, there are issues to forgive. Remember that Jesus said you have to forgive 70 times 7, which means forever. It's never going to go away. It's going to pop up in your mind every now and then. You're going to have to forgive again. So 70 times 7 pretty much means always. The more you do it, the more you bless them and release them, the more you say, I'm given this reminder, this thought that has come up to the higher Holy Spirit self for resolving and dissolving all the way back to the root cause. I've learned all I can from that, and I now am interested in living a life of peace and happiness and joy, and I give it away now. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm grateful. Let it be so. That's what you do with those thoughts as they keep popping up. And I have been doing this for a while now, and I'm finding that those thoughts pop up less and less. That it might be, oh, it's been a while since I had that thought pop up. So that daily spiritual work will help you move through it. And of course, a few little spiritual tips. So the assignment for you for this week
Hallelujah.
is to contemplate how you can love yourself more. Because we're worried about someone else. That's really us. That's something I'm seeing, and other people around me might be looking at the same thing and not seeing it. Right? It's like the witnesses to a car crash that have to testify. Everyone saw something different. No one saw the same thing. Okay, because we're seeing what is ours to see, our stuff. So let's see, where did it go? Contemplate how you can love yourself more. The truth is that's the best gift you can give the world. And when you see yourself from love's view, great healing is at hand. Stop looking for a savior out there. The savior is within here. Go within and look for the answers. And that's the end of the talk. I have one more thing I want to say. The last thing I wanted to say to you guys was this is the community that is the origin of the Emerson Theological Institute. It goes back to Fresno. A lot of people here were from the Fresno church. The leadership in this church has led Emerson all these years. The congregation back in Fresno, the congregation here, whether or not they were leadership, they were participating in consciousness. And I want you to know that consciousness is powerful. It somehow drifted all the way to the eastern side of the country and tapped on me at a certain point. So that's all of your doing and the people that we have in history here. And I want to thank you, and I want to thank every spiritual leader that had something to do with that, every visitor, and every person that just sat in a chair back then and here and now, because you have made the world a better place. You've made countless lives better. So thank you. And so it is.
I want to say, bless your heart. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. You know, that background information is really great for a lot of us, you know, to hear and to be reminded. So I'm really grateful for that too. I'm sure we all are. Okay, so now I would like to, I'm sorry that I forgot to say Happy Mother's Day. I meant to, but you know what, my brain kind of goes over there sometimes and forget stuff. But Happy Mother's Day, and I'm so happy you're all here. We are now going to have our offertory, and I would like to ask for 2 volunteers to come up from the congregation, and don't be shy. Oh, we've got a few volunteers. I like this. Can I take your names? Here we go. Thank you, ladies. We'll just do a prayer before we start, okay? All right, we'll do our little prayer first. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Thank you. Down. Thank you very much. And I'm going to explain again to those on Zoom. I can't see you, but you may tithe by going into the iFocus and an email that you receive and pushing the green button. It has easy instructions on how to donate funds to the PLC. Or you can send a check to the Positive Living Center, P.O. Box 2683, Oakhurst, California 93644. Thank you for all your donations. We really appreciate it, and it helps us keep going. Thank you. All right, this is the time where we have announcements. Now, I want to make one announcement. I heard really wonderful things about the flute and drum circle last night. I'm sorry that I couldn't be here, but I heard it was well attended. Really wonderful and well attended, and people just kept showing up, so that's great. We're building enthusiasm here. All right, and anyone have an announcement? I have another one, sorry. I guess I got the mic. This is again a Mark the Spot event that's going to happen on the 28th of July. And you know, as I said, I'll just keep reminding you that we're going to have Diva Vani come, and she's going to do an evening of chanting. And we want to bring your friends, welcome everyone, and it's participatory, but she will do call and response. And I think you met her, if you didn't last time she was here. She also writes poetry, but she's got an amazing voice. And it really is a healing experience to feel that, to feel the voice and to let go. All right, that's me done. Anyone else? Okay, whoever wants to come up, sign up. I'm gonna give you the mic so that everyone can hear what you say.
So June 15th, it's a Saturday, 9:30 to 12:30. I'm going to do a seminar on Taoism and New Thought. I have a sign-up sheet back there. It'll be in person. I don't know if I'll have any Zoom connection since I would have no idea how to do it. I wanted to say a couple of things. It's $15 or whatever you pay. All of the money will go to PLC. If you have a copy of the Tao Te Ching, that'll be the primary book we use, please bring that. If you want to buy one, like on Amazon, get with me because I'll tell you the one Emerson uses. But you don't need to have one. I'll have handouts and we'll talk it all through. I think that's it.
Is it here, Bob? Is it here?
It'll be here, yeah, and there's a sign-up sheet back there.
Thank you, Reverend Bob, and can we have Reverend LJ?
I just want to remind you that we do have our class starting next week. It'll be at 11:30. We're calling it Welcoming ... us. And so it is going to be used, we're going to be using this thing called You by Ernest Holmes. It really is a introductory to New Thought kind of a class, and welcoming all the dimensions of us, and the other, as Reverend John was talking about, which is a reflection for us. So
Great. That sounded good to me. Was that Gypsy? Did you want to come on up? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I just want to let everyone know that there's actually a powwow from the Southern Miwok tribe that's going on actually right now. It's been going on since yesterday, but it's continuing today. It's really awesome, especially for those of you who love drumming and love the drum circle, that it's going to be drumming all the way to the evening. A lot of big mother drums, not just one. There's a couple of different ones. I heard them on my way over yesterday, so I know they're there. And so plenty of dancing and music, and I think some of you here will really enjoy that. And it's in the Mariposa Fairgrounds. Yeah, it's in the fairgrounds. Yep, it's going on right now.
Okay, great.
thank you.
All right, Judy, your turn, Reverend Judy. It's hot, that
Just a reminder, the second Saturday of every month, we gather here from 1:30 for the drum circle.
No, for the
And
circle.
that 1:30 time is a time for newbies. And then at 4 o'clock, we have the drum circle. Come join, we have drums, rattles, and all the vibrational love you can imagine.
The flute circle starts at 1:30, right?
For the newbies.
Yeah. And anyone else that would like to get up and Laurie B. Butler.
Thank you, Kim.
Well, I want to have as much enthusiasm as, and I just drew a blank, Gypsy, because I love that name, as Gypsy did. So I want to let everyone know that I have a writers group called The Heart of Writing at the Library Community Room every Thursday from 2 o'clock to 3:30. And it doesn't cost anything. And because writing is a very solitary sport, we have some very good conversations in there. So if you have any inclination that you'd like to check it out, just come on by the Library Community Room from 2 to 3:30. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? I'm looking, I think that we're done. That's great. Lots of things going on here.
Yeah.
All great. Okay. So now, I want to remind you, our prayer partner this week is Reverend Louette Ball. I'm losing my voice. Bull. Reverend LJ. Thank you. And next week's speaker is Reverend LJ. Yahoo! All right. Let's do the prayer of protection, and then we'll have Sandy, are you gonna come up before,
After.
after?
So we'll
And
do
then
music.
Jim was gonna do, okay,
Yeah, so he'll sing after you.
okay. All right, the light of God surrounds me, the love of God enfolds me, the power of God protects me, the presence of God watches over me, the energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yes. And so now I'm going to invite Jim Savarino to come up and play some more music. Nice, please.
I'll play something I know, so I don't need this.
It just doesn't want to stay.
I'm in West Virginia kick. That's where my home. That's my guitar pick. Well, I'll get one in, and I have more guitar picks for later. This doesn't need one. It's a song from near Wheeling, West Virginia. It's called "Follow Me." It's from an old graveyard. Oh, it's because the thing got turned up. That's good. Thank you. After much too long, I wandered home, searched for my lost love, but she was gone. I walked alone where we stood hand in hand. I saw a small white marble stand. I knew my love was gone before I read that stone. I knew my empty life I would live alone. I said goodbye through the tears I shed, and beneath her naked words I read, don't cry for me, don't weep, my dear. I am not dead, just sleeping here. When my grief you come to see, prepare for death. Follow me. Now once more I wonder and I roam. I will never call these hills my home, till my soul flies free. I have died, and they bury me at my left side. Don't cry for me, don't weep, my dear. I am not dead, just sleeping here. When my grief you come to see, prepare for death. Follow me, prepare for death. Follow me.
And here comes our Reverend Pastor Sandy West.
Thank you for the music, Jim, wherever you went. Oh, there it is. Thank you. We found it. And thank you, John and Missy, for coming and sharing your wisdom with us. It's always a joy to have different perspectives on things. Thank you. So if you'll close your eyes, please, just take some deep breaths in and know that the divine was here today, immersed in all of us, visiting us, surrounding us, loving us, caring for us. And as we go forth today on this Mother's Day, know that all is blessed. All, whether a mother or a father or anyone. The humanity and the humans, the trees, nature, everything, the clouds and the sky, a blessing for all. And know that as you go forth in the world, the more you bless, the better the world becomes. The more you bless and open your heart, the more love there is to share. The more you bless, the more healing there is. Bless, open your heart, love. It is desperately needed in this time. And I know and accept that each of us is needed, and we're here by divine appointment, and that life is good and all is well. And say with me, please. And so with you.
Are we gonna have one more treat? Thank you, Sam. Felt great. You gonna do another song, Jim?
Sure.
To sing us out,
All right,
or sing
I'll
us
do it.
in, or whatever we want to do. Have a great week, and Jim's gonna do a closing song.
All right. Oh, I got one sitting. You want to stand up. That last song was a melancholy song about death.
Yeah.
A
little bit more cheerful.
So I'd like to change that energy and have a happy song about death. On a rainy summer's evening, the good Lord called me home. He said, "Hi, come sit beside me. Let's look at what you've done. Don't be nervous. Have some popcorn. Relax, kick off your shoes, and we'll watch my home movies right after the evening. Get to finish things you want. You discover my existence. You weren't the smartest man I think, but you sure did have persistence. There's a good one. What were you thinking? I really like that line. Were you sober? What were you thinking? Or were you like that all the time? You're the best part. Where you fall down, and I'll get the fall again. Really weren't such a bad idea, but the timing was awful, my friend. You discover my existence. You weren't the smartest man I think, but you did have persistence. sweet. It was touching, but love is won and lost. The love that you gave right back, did you know it was worth the cost? If you want, you can stay with me. Lord knows you paid your dues, but eternity is a very long time, so be careful how you choose. Did you finish? Did you want to discover my little difference? You were the smartest man I made, you really have mercy. Did you finish? Did you want to discover my little difference? You were the smartest man I made, you really have mercy. Thanks for having me here.
Okay, if you want to take in the artwork or stay after and have chats with people, you're welcome to do that, but really have a wonderful week ahead, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.